Okay, good afternoon. This is just to give a detailed explanation on how Symphony works and well, why was Symphony created? Well, I just feel that creating sound effects, creating sound and creating music for video games is tasking work. So Symphony was created to make it easier for devs and for audio engineers to actually implement that, um, to make it seamless, and you don't really need to leave the space of your Unity project. You can just do it inside the Unity project as you are also working on various projects. So just that's just a brief explanation of why this was created. I will explain the other reasons why it was created later in another video. But just to explain, to continue with the tutorial, let us start with what this is. This is called the Symphony Studio. It's a window in the project in which you just go to Windows, Symphony, and you now go to the studio. There are also other windows, but I'll explain that later on in other videos. We'll start with studio and song builder. In studio, this is where you create the steps, the sequences, what you will use for the song builder, in which I will give a detailed explanation on it now. So like, it has a lot of steps for it to set up. Like, you need your manual sequencer player, which this is what initiates it to play what you are actually creating, right? You now have the song arrangement. That's like a saved file, like you've saved what you've already done in that song arrangement, and it is now saved in that sequence. You have your slice pack. I will explain that on later, but slice pack is where you put most of your packs, right? Like, you have a lot of packs. Like, a lot of people like to download packs, download a lot of loops, melodies, beats, drums. So instead of those separating them, put them in one pack, right? You just select all of them and put them in one particular slice pack, and you can easily get everything from there. Then you have your synth plugin base. That is for your wave, your saw, your triangle, your piano, whatsoever you want to use it for. Especially if you are kind of doing a 2D retro games and all stuff. Then you have your mixer. Yeah, that's still in the works because I'm still going to do one or two things for the mixer. So yeah. Then you have your settings, the audio engine buffer side. This was very hard to do because you now have to utilize the RAM of the system, right? You have to just check whether you want to increase it from 2 because normally for audio engineers, we understand that there's sometimes that when you play some kind of projects, some kind of songs, you actually hear kind of tapping sound. That's kind of like a latency in the rendering of that sound, right? So we increase the RAM so that it can accommodate that particular audio that you're working with. All right, so you can increase it to 2048, then apply. The rhythm tools, grid steps, pulses. That's the amount of grid you want to pulse it, the hit duration, the steps, and the velocity. All of them are already set for you. You now have, so it's kind of a full-on production system going on the studio side here. So let's not bore you with that. So now we have the show rulers, we have the step sequencers in which we can get the percussion. Percussions is what the slice pack is, where the slice pack content will be initiated, whereas the synth is mostly where the wave, like I said, the wave, the triangle, the saw, all those kind of stuff, like that kind of synth kind of effects. Audio engineers will understand what I'm saying. Have where you place them, in which it's divided into these places. So that being said, you now have your drum roll, right? This is where you can edit, in which I will show that later on, right? In fact, no, let me even start that now. It's better to show than explain. So let's just set up manual sequence player. The present, yes. Step sequencer is already there. So song arrangement. I already have one done. So I'll just bring the song arrangement down. Or so now for this step sequencer, I don't want to use a new one. I want to use one I've already worked on already, in which this is tutorial beats pattern. So which, as you can see, it has already brought down a beat that I've been creating before. So slice pack, but for that beat to play, it must have the slice pack ready. So the pack, if you want to create synth, you need to get the type, like noise, organ, piano, maybe put the organ there. Then symphony mixer, just for your to mix the sound and all that kind of stuff, that good stuff. And yeah, so let's play it now. So okay, but before we play, look at the slice platelets. This is where all the sounds is stored from this. Where is it? From this slice pack, it will now display here which you want to use. In which, let us give a demo of what I've done. Right, so that is all this is playing at the same time, but you just need to just select. So you can edit them here, but it's quite minimal. So the best way to edit them or to place them how you want to place them is through the drum roll, which I've already done one side of it here, which is the first slice. There's the chill conga, the contents I've already placed in the slice pack. So with time you will get to understand it. Back second drum roll. I see these, like, there are two ways of doing it. You can use loops or you can use samples. These are loops. These are loops I've already gotten online, and I just merge them together, and it must be in the same RPM, which is RPM is 111. So I have to just calculate that, right? So the chill conga, if you notice the slice is not there because it's already up. Chill conga, everything, all the other packs is here, and they play in sync, in which if I play, if you notice on the beat before, you notice that a particular sound is missing. Just keep that in the record in your mind and you see what I mean. Close that, I go to drum roll and I play. Right, so it's just as simple as, okay, if I remove, I delete, nothing happens. Right, I put it back again, slice, I stretch down and play. And that's it. So now we've gotten, that's just part of what this can do. You can also export, which I'm still working on the export sequence. It's kind of that'll be one of the last features. That's one of the last updates I'll put before this is that production already. Arrangement, everything. So yeah, so for now we're done with this until other later. for the studio, for this Symphony Studio, we're done with that for now. So we now have to close this and go to Windows, go to Symphony, and go to Song Builder. Right, what is Song Builder is self-explanatory. That's where you build your songs, right? This is the alpha state of it. So, right, how does this work? Arrangement, song arrangement, right? It will have this. Song arrangement is like a kind of save file that saves or fetches the sequence you've created before and puts them down. So this is test pattern. So the only thing I don't need to do is that I need them to work with multiple. Right now it just works with singular, and I'll tell you why. Because for it, let us say I choose tutorial based pattern, right, in which all these are here. Delete selected, delete selected, delete, delete. If you are using this, that means you need the slice pack for it so that it can recognize the sound, right? So there's a way I'm going to make that. Oh, okay, I think I know what happened. Non-arrangement player. Aha, yeah, I forgot to add this. Never forget to add this. This is the arrangement player, so that it knows what it's going to play. Default synth. I don't have anyone, but yeah, you just put the organ back. Then default mixer, Symphony mixer. Now I've selected YouTube. Now this is where you now start painting, or this is where you start adding the sequence, right? I've added this one now, so I add it again just to show you what I mean, and I add again. Like it's just going through a sequence. So if you get the pattern I'm trying to do, it's adding the sequence upon sequence upon sequence. Now this is why I said that this still needs work, because I wanted to add multiple sequence from different points, but it's not possible. Why? Because it's using the slice back of this. Right, so I needed that. Maybe I can add maybe like 2 or 3 slice packs, so I will do that later on as an update. 2, 3, 4, 5 or so. So let us see if this works. So yeah, so I'll just press play. Seen that play now, right? So let's just look at it. If it's just another thing entirely, let's just remove this. Stop. Still have some blocks in it, so I will reset that later. Set the playhead. Let's select this. I delete the selected. Let's see what happens. Exactly, nothing happens. So now let's wait till it reaches that other playhead, that sequence. Cool. So this is a place where you can build your songs. You can start building your songs, your vocals, everything. You can add your sequence, your vocals, everything, and make a song from here. Like I said, it's still on its alpha phase, so once it's done, everything will be prim. So I think, yeah, that's about it for now. And yeah, that's just a demonstration, part of the demonstration of Symphony, and more videos will be coming later on. All right, thank you.